This game was kinda perfect, in a way. When you're on Team Tank and you want to see the team get Connor Bedard, games like these are kind of the best thing possible, because even though the Canucks go out there and lose in regulation, there still are a number of things that happen in said game that provide some sort of entertainment value to those watching at home. Of course, we're talking about Vancouver versus Tampa Bay. This was a 5-2 Lightning win at Rogers Arena while the Canucks are in their brand new freed skate black uniforms. Now, it was really jarring to me, and it still kind of is, seeing the new Canucks retros, or not really retros, but the throwbacks with the black skate on it, and seeing the font on the back of the jersey not have that white outline and have the new font instead of the old one. It's very off-putting to me seeing the Canucks in jersey numbers that don't have the white outline. It's very strange, but either way, this was indeed Gino Odjick Appreciation Tribute Night, where you had the Canucks alumni of the past, Trevor Linden included, by the way, make themselves an appearance before the game. The Canucks had a very, very emotional and I'd say appropriate ceremony for Gino and all of the work that he had done on and off the ice in Vancouver. Of course, RIP to the man himself, and condolences to his family, friends, loved ones, etc. It was very unfortunate seeing everything go down the way that it did with his passing, but the Canucks do their part by giving a very nice ceremony before the game. It's unfortunate, though, because the rest of the game after the puck dropped really went the worst way that it could. Steven Stamkos was coming into tonight's game with 499 goals on the year, or not on the year, on his career, excuse me. If it was on the year, that'd be kind of insane. But 499 goals on his career. He needed one to get to the big 500. And it doesn't take too long for him to get that done. It's a very bad defensive play by the Vancouver Canucks rushing into their own zone. Ethan Bear makes a little bit of a pinch, trying to attack the puck carrier, Alex Killorn. However, Killorn is so easily just able to sidestep Bear. Bear ends up falling down and going into the boards. And for some reason, the defenseman in front ends up leaving his assignment straight up in order to attack Killorn once again. And guess what? It's Steven Stamkos who is right in front as a result by himself. Nobody is there. Killorn throws it over to the front of the crease, and Stamkos buries it right by Spencer Martin. It's a 1-0 game. The Stamkos train has hit 500. The Lightning come off the bench. They celebrate in the corner, and Canucks fans give a standing ovation. Because even though seeing your team down 1-0 at the start of an emotional game is not a preferred outcome, seeing what Steven Stamkos has done throughout his career, 60-goal season, all the goals that he has had over his career, his weird elephant brain memory that he's got, seeing him score 500, it's nice. And then the Canucks kind of continue giving the Lightning that momentum, because right away after, like 4 minutes later, it's Nikita Kucherov who gets himself a one-time opportunity. The Canucks are kind of crowding the front. It's Tyler Myers and OEL who are on the same guy in front of Spencer Martin. It kind of provides a little bit of a screen, as it's Brendan Hagel who throws it across over to the opposite face-off circle where Nikita Kucherov hammers it down. No chance on that one for Spencer Martin. He was kind of screened. Also, Myers and OEL were on the same guy in front, leaving Kucherov wide open. Like, why? Can't you guys just do your checking properly? Like, one guy to one guy. Why are you having two bodied up on the same person in front when the puck is out in the perimeter? Okay, we know Myers and OEL have been bad together. It's been like this for the whole season. They're like the worst pairing in the league when it comes to their advanced analytics, I think, something like that. But their prowess on their own zone defending is what causes this goal here. Spencer Martin not looking all too great, though, especially a few minutes later as Braden Point ends up getting a goal, making it 3-0 Tampa Bay. The Canucks can't clear their zone. The Lightning are able to hold the line. A low shot from Chernak goes off of Spencer Martin's pads. The rebound pops out to Point on the side, who backhands it on goal. Martin gets a piece, but it goes in anyway. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay, and then a minute later, Steven Stamkos gets another one. Alex Killorn is down low, and you have yourselves the Canucks defenseman who is on his tail, not able to block off the centering pass. Meanwhile, Stamkos going to the net. For some reason, he finds himself behind Kyle Burrows, and he has a clear lane to walk right in, receive the pass, go across the net, and bury it by Martin. Spencer Martin ends up getting pulled after 4 goals against on 10 shots. Now, sure, You could very well say that each of the 4 goals that Martin allowed had some form of fault attributed to other Canucks on the roster. You had the Bear-Burrows pairing not getting their checks twice. You had the Canucks not able to clear, which led to the point goal. You had Myers and OEL targeting the same dude, leaving Kucherov wide open on the 2-0 goal. But at the end of the day, the coach has got to send a message. 4 goals and 10 shots, that's terrible. The Canucks end up pulling Martin. Delia comes in. The guy doesn't actually let in any goals, so good for Delia having 14 saves and 14 shots. But on the other end, you have yourselves Brian Elliott, who actually looked like a really, really good brick wall in this one. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's selective memory, but Brian Elliott, to me, every time I think about games that Brian Elliott has had, he's always been really solid. Like, way more solid than you would expect a 37-year-old backup to be able to be. I mean, he was so good in this game. The Canucks had a lot of zone time, a lot of chances. They outshot the Tampa Bay Lightning 39-25. And they only beat him twice, on the power play, each time, in the third period, when all hope was lost after the Canucks outshot the Lightning 30-20 in the first 2 periods combined. He was just really good, and for Tampa Bay, of course, having the goaltending in Vasilevsky that you have, it's very nice to see. Brian Elliott definitely has his own positives to bring to the table as well. He had a lot of tip shot saves, he had a lot of rebounds in front that he was able to smother up, and I mean, the guy was just fantastic. However, he wasn't perfect, as the Canucks did beat him twice in this game. First goal scored by Vancouver. It's in the third period. It's Andrei Kuzmenko on the power play. Down low, Kuzmenko feeds it over to the side. Miller ends up throwing it back to Hughes, who one-times it on goal, and Kuzmenko is there for the tip. This was significant because you had Andrei Kuzmenko's parents both in the stands today. His father was very happy to see Kuzi score the goal, and his mother, I mean, it admittedly didn't look like she saw the goal go in, but yeah. Father caught her up to speed. It was very nice seeing the Kuzmenkos over there doing their thing and celebrating as their son scored a goal. And then you had yourselves another power play opportunity for the Canucks just a few minutes later, where Quinn Hughes decides to do it all himself. He enters the zone, dangles by everybody pretty much, cuts towards the goal, notices that Brian Elliott is committed a little bit too much to Horvat on the side, and so Hughes himself just cuts across and shoves it in. I believe it went 5-hole on Brian Elliott, if not under the armpit. But Quinn Hughes scores his first power play goal in like 3 years it's been, like January 2020 or something like that. I think they were talking about it on the broadcast. It had been 12 hours of power play time between goals for Quinn Hughes. He had 70-something assists in that span, but no goals, which is quite peculiar to say the least. The Canucks then pull the goaltender. They have some shots of their own. They had some more opportunities. Brian Elliott made some good saves. I'll admit the Canucks weren't perfect in this one, especially from an offensive standpoint. There were some plays where it's like, okay, no, why did you not pass it? The guy was wide open and there was an open chance for a cross crease. Why did you force the shot? Why did you force the pass? Why didn't you shoot it at this time? It was not perfect, but at the same time, it was entertaining enough. Plus, you had the thing in the second period intermission where the guy ended up winning the car. Like, I don't know if y'all saw this, but somebody won a car, a Toyota Prius or whatever it was, or a hybrid something. I'm not too sure. I'm not a car guy. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But somebody did win a car in the second period intermission where they shot the puck from center ice into the very small hole into the net. So, congrats to that guy. Gave some good entertainment for the Canucks fans in the building, as did the Hughes and Kuzmenko goals. But then the final part of the night comes when Nikita Kucherov throws it over to Stamkos, gets the empty netter. Stamkos gets the hat trick, his 21st goal on the season, 502nd goal of his career, as Tampa Bay takes this one 5-2. Ultimately, the game could have been a lot better if you just swapped the goalies. Like, let's say Spencer Martin is playing for Tampa, Brian Elliott's playing for Vancouver. This game probably looks a lot different. However, I'm not too sure about that because the Canucks, then again, did have some very bad defensive reads in front of Spencer Martin. I mean, I'll make the argument all day. This game wasn't necessarily Martin's fault, but a better goaltender probably could have made up for the mistakes the Canucks had. But at the end of the day, it's another loss. It's another Team Tank win. So, talk to the console your thoughts about the Canucks and the Lightning. I hope you enjoyed this British Rolls 99. And bye.